Welcome back, everybody, to the TMI FYI podcast. I'm Nat.
I'm Claude.
And you know what? We start off this episode, or all episodes, laughing because we have such trouble being professionals.
Yeah. Or serious, or
Yeah.
Are we professionals? Is that what we're trying to be?
No, I feel like this is like our 8th episode. I feel like
I don't know. We've done so many and scratched so many and had to re-record, and oh shit, the sound wasn't going, and
you guys have no idea.
But you know what? It makes us better. I know that might be hard to believe right now, but it does.
The audience
We've learned
is
a
like,
lot. We've learned a lot. No,
I don't
really?
know about
This
that.
is better? Okay.
Like, okay, ladies.
But it is.
Anyway, well, it's been a minute. We took a little recording break. How have you been?
I'm good.
Claudia?
I'm good. It's had some things. My sister moved back from living out of the country for 25 years.
Yay.
So she's back home.
Yay.
My 2 nieces are visiting. One's here permanently. One's not sure. So it's good. It's been my daughter's boyfriend has a birthday coming up, so I know she's got some plans for that.
Ooh, a little birthday surprise.
A little birthday celebration
love.
Weekend, and all good. Dealing with the heat.
Yes, girl.
Taking a break from cookies for the summer after this weekend. So all good. All good. Nothing has got my bun twisted, really. Our twisted buns. So we said we're going to do that and then do a positive because, we're trying to be positive.
What's got your bun blessed?
What's got my updo going?
What's got your updo? I do have a bun twist.
So go, you start.
I'm going to start. And it's me taking accountability because I am the bun twister. So I've been listening to some of these episodes when we publish them, and I just want to apologize to the listening audience for the insane amount of times that I use the word like.
Yeah, but and you said that earlier, and that is an epidemic. And we're going to call it an epidemic. I have spoken to my daughter's friends because they were all, recent graduates, and they go out on the interviews, and every 3 words, like I watch things on TV, and we always have subtitles because, you need subtitles. Deaf. Need the subtitles, and every 3 words, because and I just lose my mind.
I thought that I had eliminated that. I thought I had eliminated that from my vocabulary. I thought I had been doing better. It turns out I'm delusional. I am using the word like very frequently. So I am going to make my best effort to not use that word anymore. And I'm sorry, folks.
More than needed, because we still have to.
Well, sometimes it makes sense, but I don't need to use it gratuitously in the way that I have been. So apologies.
I do the same with my hands. I noticed in rewatching some of our stuff, I'm constantly, because we're Latin, and it's part of our, if you sit on your hands, it's like you're mute. Can
we just also say there is nothing more humbling, folks, than having to listen to yourself, watch yourself. Awful. I actually think everyone should do it because it really gives you some insight into the things you had no idea that you did. In Spanish, muecas, faces that you make. Oh my God,
I've noticed that too. I go, do I always do that? I'm very expressive with my face. I open my eyes and then make faces in my hands. I'm like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah, I always have this hand here like a wing. We don't know what we're doing.
No, the hands, the face. So, it's a learning process.
It is.
It's yeah, you're able to watch it more than I. I'm like, I don't even like hearing my voice on things, or like a voice recorder or a voicemail. If people still do that. I don't like to hear my voice.
The answering machine.
The answering machine. Erase the tape. No. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
weird.
It's tough to watch yourself. So that's my bun twist. If I had to, my bun blessing, what I'm grateful for, I've had such a lovely week because my kids are in camp. I know we talked about that a few weeks ago, that they were home, they were annoying.
Yeah, that's a 5-star
and there. That's like 100 out of 10. I mean, having them out of the house is phenomenal. The dog is in boot camp, so he's off getting trained. So
and he's doing great because the trainer is my friend, and she says thank God we gave you the potty schedule because he's potty trained, and so
he's doing
gold
wonderfully.
Star for you.
So it's just been a peaceful week at home. It's so lovely to have some quiet time.
That's empty nesting.
Well, how lovely for you. And I'm sure that I will miss the chaos at some point. But for this week, it's freaking lovely. So what do you have, Claude?
As far as blessings or bun twist?
Both. Well,
Blessings,
you said you didn't have
I'm happy that my family's here, my sister, it's an adjustment. You get used to your lifestyle in a way, although it hasn't been empty nesting for a while because my daughter still is at home, but she's kind of on her own and does her own thing.
She has her own wing.
She has her own side of I don't know, that sounds horrible, side of the house. It's like basically the foyer and one room's on one side. It should be like a guest suite.
Guys, this house is very large.
Okay. Jerk. So, it's nice. I'm happy. I have to readjust my, things.
Sure.
I'm used to having my things and you have to kind of let loose a little bit and say, okay, it's bigger picture. But I'm happy that she's here. I'm happy for her.
Yes.
New chapter.
Yeah.
So, looking forward. We have some trips coming up. My dream trip is coming up of my lifetime trip to Africa.
Oh, yay. We'll talk about that when it gets closer.
So, all good. I really don't have a gripe right now. I'm sure I do. I'm sure
it'll come
I
up.
do. Like is a good one. The overuse in that. And, people talking on their speakerphones.
Oh, I used that one the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. That's the usual. I think most people...
Yeah, just daily annoyances.
Daily. I don't have a big one.
All right. So then we can go ahead and dive into the topic for today, which is a topic that, number one, we asked our audience a few weeks ago, what are some topics you want to hear about? This one came up a couple of times. And it's a topic that's been coming up more and more and more, which I'm super grateful for because I feel like prior to the last couple of years, we really didn't hear anything about it. And you were only lucky to find out if you had a mom, a grandmother, some elder in your family
who was willing
to share. And so if you haven't guessed it yet, ladies, we are talking all things menopause today.
And perimenopause.
Perimenopause.
And I think that this, to be honest, was the genesis for me, which is why this idea of doing a podcast of what format could we use to kind of get some information out there? Why don't people share these things? Why don't women, discuss this more? And I think the reason that it's having a moment right now is because the people and the women heading into this phase are the women, the 80s, 90s, whatever. Now we have a platform. Now we have a way to do it. Years back, we didn't have this. And the women 10, 20 years ago going through this didn't feel comfortable. Things weren't as open and as discussed as they are now, and now everything is an open book. Everybody talks about everything. And I think now menopause, the women going into menopause are the 80s baby, the Brooke Shields wrote a book. Yeah.
We're not staying quiet.
It's having a moment I feel very blessed that, when I started this journey like 2 years ago, when I kind of had a midlife crisis, a woman, all the things, it's like a collision of menopause, hysterectomy, whatever. And then kind of like, okay, there's my doggies. They're chiming in.
They also support the... They also
That's my
support
cheerleading squad.
Menopause talk. No, I totally agree with you. I think now we have more places and spaces to talk about it, and this is going to be one of them because we are not exactly in the same place with regard to this. So I am 42. You are 53. And you had...
Thank you.
Well,
I know.
I think that's important to this conversation.
It is.
Normally, I wouldn't just,
I know.
throwing that around.
What? It's okay.
It is okay. It's more than okay. What's the alternative? Okay. So
43.
That's true, but that's me. Anyway, so we are in kind of different phases of this, and I think I thought we would start with perimenopause because that comes first. And I think that a lot of especially younger women, I think maybe now they know, but I had never heard of that word before when I was growing up. And it's really interesting as I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking it's so interesting how when you're a young girl, or you're a teenager and you're waiting to get your period, and everybody does talk about that, right?
It's wait, did you get it?
Did you get it?
And then you almost want to lie and say, yeah, I got it, because you don't want to be the last.
Of course. Was me.
Thank you.
I was also one of the last, and I'm pretty sure I did.
12. I was like, how is that?
I was 13. I'm pretty sure I did lie to some people about it because I was so embarrassed. But everybody talks about that, and that's coming, and you're ready for it. But
and it's exciting.
It's exciting.
It's like a rite of passage, and everybody's like, woohoo! you got it. And then it's misery for the next 40 fucking years.
Because you don't know how terrible
Yeah.
it is. And in fact, I still remember the day this is a little bit of a side story, but you know who did know? My grandma. And she was the first person I told that I got my period. And her literal words to me were, "Oh no, que desgracia," which is what a disgrace.
What a disgrace, yeah. Because she's going, here she goes. She has no idea, of
She
course.
was the only one that was willing to be like, "Girl, that sucks for you."
Yeah, too bad you couldn't hold it off.
I know. And so anyway, we know that's coming. We're excited about it. And I guess because at that age, getting older feels like a good thing. But then menopause comes and you don't want to talk about it. And you don't want to tell anyone you're going through it. And your relationship to aging changes at that point.
Of course. And when you're getting your period, it's like, again, entering this club, you're now, you know, and you're going to be a woman and you're desirable and all the things that come with the next couple chapters and phases and, you know, high school and college and dating and marriage and babies. And then it's like menopause is like the kibosh and like, it's all over. Hang it up, move away, just go hide in a hole.
Yeah. It's just a reminder, as we talked about, how aging is so hard, and mentally it's hard to get to that place. And even for myself, I've been feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm in this phase already. I'm having this conversation. Me? I'm a baby. Like, how could this be? So anyway, all this to say, it's something that not everyone talks about. And going back to the perimenopause thing, that was something I never heard of. I had heard of menopause.
Perimenopause wasn't even like that
was in no one's vocabulary.
Yeah, that was like a new addition. It's almost like the warm-up.
Yeah.
The warm-up to...
And it is. So for anyone who is not familiar, if it has not landed in your inbox what this is, perimenopause is that transitional phase before you get to menopause. And basically what happens is your ovaries are producing estrogen, and they do that on a fairly regular schedule when you are in your fertile years. And so everything works on a cycle. You're getting your period every month. Everything's great, right? Then all of a sudden your ovaries are like, I'm tired. I'm out. They start, getting a little lazy.
They're getting tired. They're like, I might not have that workout today. Maybe I'll stay in bed a little longer.
Like, fuck this. I'm tired. I'm calling out today.
Yeah.
And so they start producing less and less estrogen. That is going to lead to some physical and mental and emotional things that happen to you. And because you have estrogen receptors all over your body, these symptoms will appear everywhere in places that you never thought and in ways you never thought. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the...
So I don't know if I don't know, I'm sure I did, but because I had endometriosis, I had the Mirena IUD for almost 15 years. Every 5 years you replace it. So it kept everything, but I didn't get a period. And I felt wonderful.
I'm sure you did.
So I don't know that I experienced perimenopause. Mine was very kind of an abrupt thing that I went from getting off the Mirena and having a full hysterectomy. So,
and we'll talk about what that's like.
And so what I had kind of, I'd circle back to it because I went off topic of what got me to wanting to have a space to discuss these things is that point about 2 or 3 years ago. I go, okay, what is this that I'm feeling? What am I going through? Is this normal? Is this like a midlife crisis? But you only hear about, the men in the Corvettes and the young girlfriend, and he got divorced. The women don't discuss what we might be going through in that midlife, because we have a midlife.
Sure.
But we're supposed to smile, and you're just happy.
And you just keep going.
And just keep going. And it's not fair. We need a space, because shit happens, at least to me.
No, shit goes down. Shit goes down. And we're going to talk about kind of like you had a pretty intense experience.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And we'll get there. But before that, just kind of some of the physical symptoms.
Yeah. So what are you in peri?
So
in the peri?
In the peris. So there is actually a test you can take. I have not taken it, so I cannot confirm. But you can ask your doctor, and maybe, I don't even know if you have to go to a specialist, but there is a test. It has a name, and I can tell you right now what the test is. It is called an FSH test, a follicle stimulating hormone test.
I get that every 3 months for my pellet.
Well, good for you. Well, she's going to tell us about the pellet. I have no idea. So it gives you a score. If it's over 25, it could potentially be perimenopause. If it's over 50, then it's very likely perimenopause. I have no idea. But here are some of the symptoms that keep coming up every time I Google it. And because I have been feeling, here's what I've been feeling. It can start as early, by the way, early as your late 30s for some women. or it could be in your, late 40s, even 50s. Average age is like 47 when technically you're in perimenopause. But some of these things I'm like, I am here. I have arrived.
Some
this is
women
happening
in their 30s
to me.
are feeling symptoms. I mean, I think there's some women that reach early menopause. I mean, it's different for everybody, but if you're having some of these symptoms, so maybe you want to check.
You should.
Get the blood test.
I probably should do that, but I could tell you just from reading some of these things that are going on, I'm like, check. And I'm talking to my girlfriends about this, and we're all around the same age, and we're having very similar experiences. So it's like, okay, well, it's not just me, which makes me feel better. And so we're going to share with all of you in case you think it's just you. So I'm going to go through some of these. You tell me if you've experienced some of these, right? Okay, the ones that kept coming up. Number one was irregular. Your period gets more irregular. I was never super regular. I got it every month, but not always on the same time. Here's what's been changing about my period. It has decided, and please, someone out there, tell me this has happened to you too. My period used to you wake up one day, you're like, oh, I got my period, and your period starts.
You didn't get cramps before or bloat or
you get like PMS, so it's coming. So your boobs hurt, it's coming. But then the day comes and she's arrived. You put in your tampon, you get on with your day, right? Take a couple Advil and move on. Now it's like, I'm here. Just kidding. I'm here. No, I'm not. I've arrived.
The water's too cold.
I've arrived. Ooh, nope, I don't think so. So I'm like 3 or 4 days. It's not even spotting. It's like I could see it when I wipe, but it doesn't arrive.
Right.
And then I'm still getting the bloating, the boobs, the back, but no period. And then at like day 4, it'll be like
tsunami.
And it will be this like flood of blood.
Oh God! So it's like hold, what is it? Braveheart. Hold.
Yes.
Hold, and one comes through, and then
the dam breaks, and it's just, and then for the first
I do not miss that.
For the first 3 days, it's
a murder scene.
It's scary,
awful,
and it's like 25 tampons, extra duty pads from my neck to my back.
I don't miss it. You see, no.
Well, but I'm just saying, and then after 2 days of that, it's gone. There's no more period left. And then it'll come back like 3 days later. It's like a little brown something just to remind you.
Okay, by the way, I was here. Thanks.
Oh, did you buy new underwear? No. No, I didn't. So it's
not panties, just underwear.
Exactly. You notice. No, I didn't say.
Yeah, I know.
Notice I didn't say panties. So there's those types of changes. And then there's the other, so that came up a lot, but the one that comes up the most, this is a fun one, vaginal dryness.
Oh, the word, it's
cobwebs.
It's cottonmouth. It's like cottonmouth for the vagina. That is something you hear it. You know what I mean? You hear the words. That's the thing, is that when you don't think you're there, I remember my husband used to tell me, I'm worried about, menopause, and if you have this hysterectomy, and he was more worried about libido, and I'm like, well, it's not like, I was like,
of course he was.
Well, of course. I worried about, we'll deal with it, but I really didn't research. My fault. I'm like, I'll just deal with whatever comes. I'm kind of always lived my life a little bit of, I don't want all the information, because I think sometimes that kind of not skews you, but then you're waiting for all these things. I'm like, just as it comes, I'll deal with whatever's going to come. For me, it was getting rid of the pain from the endometriosis, my ovaries feeling like water balloons all the time. I just wanted it out. I said, nothing can be worse than a lifetime of discomfort, pain, bloating, painful sex. I'll get it out. And then we'll deal with all. So I have the surgery. And then I was like, we'll deal with the symptoms. And the first one.
And then your vag shriveled up like a raisin.
Oh my God. I was like, what the F is this? And then to accompany it, they hold hands. And they're like, I'm going with you with vaginal dryness. Is, a change in your scent, if you want to call it. Give it a word. It's just something that you kind of one day you go to pee and you wipe and you're
aroma.
And you're like, wait a minute. What? Something's different. And I'm the only one here, so I'm the only one that can tell. But then I started thinking, oh my God, can he tell? You get self-conscious and you're like, oh my God. And I remember as a child, my mom, older, you think older people, how older people just have a certain, like old people?
Yeah.
They have like a certain old people smell. People talk about it, and let's not be
No, I know what you mean.
Whatever.
Yes,
they just do.
It has a scent, okay.
And so I just remember as a little girl thinking my mom was like, oh, she smells like an older lady, you know, like you just whatever. And I'm like,
so
oh
your
my God,
vag
is that
smelled
me?
like an older lady?
It just didn't smell like it normally did. And I'm like, something is wrong. Do I, you know?
I
And
know
I'm
what
like,
you
okay.
mean.
And then I got concerned and I started reading. I'm like, oh, because it's dry, and that's because your pH balance changes, and because the moisture is less, and then yes, and then that opens up, no pun intended, to bacterial infections, yeast infections, UTIs, all those things. I'd had one UTI in my life, and all of a sudden I started getting them like every 2 weeks. I'm like, what the? Like a lot of things start happening.
Yeah.
And the vaginal dryness was the first one. I was like, oh no. It is god awful painful.
So I don't know that I've had it to that extent. Now the change of scent I occasionally have encountered.
And that is fixed. Let me just put an asterisk. When we get to the pellet and once you restore and get things in balance,
but it
there
does
is
happen.
a fix for it.
I have had that experience where I'm like, is anybody else?
Is anybody else here? Notice what's going on, or is this just a party for one?
That doesn't feel great.
No, and you're self-conscious, and then it's just little things that are happening. Going, oh my God, is this my future? And I'm like, is this?
Yeah, I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be that girl.
It starts to chip away at, and I know this sounds crazy, or however, I'm just going to phrase it the easiest, at your womanhood. You know, you're. Like
your goddess femininity, like I feel so
you never
wonderful.
Thought you had to worry about or take care of. You know, we take supplements for everything. We take our vitamin for this and our biotin for our hair. And then I remember when that happened, you know, I was trying to stay off of hormone replacement because I was still of the mentality of 90s and early 2000s of, hormones and breast cancer and this and the cancer, you know.
Sure.
So I was all about, let me find the fix that's not hormonal. So I think I mentioned in a previous episode about the Reverie and the thing that there's a company that sells, you know, like a triple, you know, they have the Claire V, the Reverie, and the whatever V. And one is these little ampules to restore dryness every 3 days. And so I said, let me try those. And they were fabulous. But I go, oh my God, 3 more effing supplements that now I have to take on top of my.
Yeah, but it's like
for
you
have
have
a counter full of shit.
It's for your kitty cat. She's done so much for you.
Yes, but now it's one more thing that I have to worry about and take care of. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so it's morning. So now I have the tray of morning, afternoon, you know, that little box.
Yes, the little
pill box that now becomes a quadruple
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
4-row thing of morning, noon, afternoon, and night. It's like, shit, I'm taking like 13 different pills I'm not going to keep up with that.
But it lubricated
in the meantime, yes,
area.
The little ampules are fabulous. That company was great for if you don't want to go the hormonal route.
Sure.
They're fabulous.
Okay.
You know.
Well, accompanying this, the other thing that I saw, which I can say, and this is a lot of information about my life, but your libido just kind of disappears. And let me tell you, I've definitely had that experience where it's like my interest is very low. And I tried to explain it away as like, well, I'm busy. I have 2 small kids. I have a job. There's so much going on. I'm just tired. But I'm starting to feel like, and talking to some of my girlfriends who are experiencing the same thing, it's like, no, this is beyond just I'm tired. It's like, I'm really just like, I don't even think about it. It's not even a thought in my mind at all. It's a chore. Yeah. And when my husband brings it up, I'm like, really? And it's not because of him, because he's super hot and I love him and I'm very attracted to him. It's just one of those things where I'm like,
of it feels like more work. Like
I have another thing I have to do.
And you hate saying that and you hate feeling that because you feel like, God, I'm projecting that. And now they're going to feel
of
like,
course.
You know, it's them and you're not attracted.
By the way, if he did that to me.
Oh, yeah. You must be doing this somewhere else because,
it's not, I would just feel like, so you don't love me. You don't think I'm attractive. Like things that probably have crossed his mind too. And I'm like, and how do I explain? No, it's really not you. When people say it's not physical. You, it's me.
It's
they're
physical.
lying, but I really mean it. It's not you. It's me. I don't know where my libido went.
And then when you accompany that with vaginal dryness and discomfort.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not like she's
painful.
She's not revving up to go.
No, and then it's like it's gonna be painful. So the whole time you're like, oh, this, and you're doing almost like it's forced, or that's not enjoyable for anybody.
It's maintenance sex at that point. It's
starfish. That's what I always say.
Yes, the starfish.
The starfish. I go, I'm going to lay here and be a warm body.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You just
do what you need to do.
I am a whole.
I'm not an active participant. Yeah. I'm a warm body. Do what you got to do. I'm not going to push you away, but the desire is just, and it sucks because then you miss that too. So, fuck, I miss feeling hot. Like you want to, hey, and it's just, and the more you psych yourself up or out about it, the worse it gets. And then it gets further and further. Like,
it's like the dentist. It's like you keep putting it off and you keep putting it off because you're so scared of what's going to happen. And then it blows up into this big thing. And then it's like, well, now sex has to be like a big production because it's been a while since we've done it. So now it's got to be like, now it's got to make it really good. But I don't have the energy to make it really good. And so it's this whole cycle that is so hard to get yourself out of. And I hadn't really considered the fact that maybe just chemically, I'm not the same as I was a few years ago where I would have been down to do it whenever, like that's not where I'm at right now. And so definitely something to explore. And if you're feeling that, you're not alone. And guys, we're sorry.
Yeah,
but, that's what's going on.
You with having the desire, there's a reason. But I mean, women got a load of stuff. And that entering that phase, it's really also an excuse expression for those who don't like, because it's a mind fuck. It really is just, it starts wearing on you, and then your body starts to change and your metabolism changes and you with estrogen, you hair loss, and then you get new hair in places you don't want hair and you lose hair in places you want to keep your hair. And it's, so hair loss hit a button there?
It did. Because I used to
leave like a wig on my bathroom floor every day.
I used to have so much hair, like a ton of hair. Every time I would go get my hair blow dried, they'd always be like, "Niña, ¿cómo tienes pelo?" Yeah, like which is like, "Girl, you have so much hair," and they would complain sometimes, and sometimes they would charge me extra because I had so much hair and it would take them so long. Now
they got the old lady.
I mean, I have. You could probably see it. It's like coming out here. I have thinness here. It all comes out on my brush, on the floor, in my drain. It's everywhere. My eyebrows were always thin, but now they're like super thin. And
dry mouth. Do you get dry mouth?
Don't worry, the hair on my chin.
Do you get extra sweat under your pits?
That's the other one.
Pits and tits and.
Okay, I'm so glad I'm married. No man would ever want to touch me if they listen to this episode. So the other.
Well, that's the one thing I was thinking. Like, do we really want to be saying? But you know what? Men, the same for you. It is informational. And understand that your wife or girlfriend or significant other is not alone in this, and it's a thing, and we're feeling all kinds of things.
Yes, and we are putting
femininity is really put to the test, and feeling feminine and feeling the things you have felt all your life growing up are starting to like look
fall
at you
apart.
And go, girl, you're heading to like Golden Girl phase, and it's you don't want to because physically you feel like I'm still.
I know. And we are putting ourselves out here and saying some stuff that is generally I wouldn't want anyone to know about me, but I'm doing it in service of the girls and knowing that you're not alone in solidarity. So you asked about like pit smell or
because you were mentioning that.
Well, I was the girl who if I didn't wear deodorant, you wouldn't know it. I didn't sweat. I didn't smell. I just did not have. That wasn't my problem. I didn't have that. Now, if I forget deodorant, you'll know. You're aware. It has a musk that
It's musky.
It's musky.
It's musky.
It's like, oh girl, you've been working out.
And if you wake up, like if you've ever had night sweats, or when you wake up and you are musky.
So this is the other thing that's been happening to me. I will wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just sweaty, and I have trouble going back to sleep, because now my mind is racing.
Sweats, but not the trouble sleeping. I've never had. I have trouble falling asleep in general. And I'm a light sleeper as far as if there's a light. Like I can't have the light on a cable box. I can't have I need complete darkness.
Yes.
And I love like background noise. I love the white noise. I love that type of thing.
You know what I love? Brown noise.
Yeah.
I love brown
pink,
noise.
green. They're all fabulous.
The brown is my favorite. Guys, explore it if you haven't.
They all sound the same to me.
No?
No?
No.
Dogs. The brown noise is for dogs, by the way.
okay.
There you go.
Well,
See, you're a dog lover deep down.
I think, guys, I think she just called me a bitch. You all heard it here, okay?
So the brown noise, so I'm a light sleeper that way. Not that I have any trouble with sleeping otherwise, but that was and then the sweats. The sweats are bad for a little while.
The sweats really suck, man. And they come for me, they come in the middle of the night. All of a sudden I'll wake up and the air is really cold. So it's not the room temperature, it's me. Like my temperature is just elevated, and my pajamas get all gross. It's not great. No. All right, so a couple others just before we dive into. So then you're feeling all this, and then what's happening emotionally, but just physically, chin hairs. Yes.
Oh, lots.
I just have one, but
he's got friends.
He doesn't.
And they're
yet.
coming. Oh, they're coming.
It's one.
Braveheart.
It's one long one.
He's bringing friends. I'm letting you know.
Sometimes I just want to
electrolysis.
No, sometimes I just want to leave it there to see like how long will you get.
Don't worry. When you pluck him,
I do. Of course I do.
4 days later, he'll be back with a vengeance. Just as long.
I plucked it like a week ago. He's not back.
See, you'll think of me.
Okay,
just
whatever.
Remember me.
Bloat and weight gain, especially around the middle. Girl.
I've heard. I didn't get that.
Well, I have gotten that. I was always super thin. Like really thin, never had an issue, could eat whatever the fuck I wanted. Some people might be hearing that and being like, fuck you. But you know what?
Me,
but that
you were always tiny
and never even had to think about it. Didn't work out, ate literally like shit. Like whole pizzas, McDonald's, like anything.
I've known you for a minute.
Anything, yeah, just a little bit. Now, if I eat an extra piece of lettuce, the weight it's like 2 extra pounds and it's particularly in the middle. I cannot lose the weight in the middle, and it sucks because it doesn't feel great. I don't feel the same in my clothes. I don't feel the same when I'm not wearing any clothes. I don't feel the same at the beach.
And then you try to do all the things you've always done that always work.
And none of it works.
And now they don't work. So now you get even more frustrated. So what do? You eat more, you drink more.
Well, I definitely
And then you want to tell your body to fuck off because you're like, okay, great. Now you're not, and you think, well, now what?
Not drinking, but I'm not doing
that. Well, that will help. But it's not going to be a miracle.
No,
like
it's not.
Just your body just changes.
I've gotten personal trainers. I've done all sorts of things, every exercise, everything. And it's just, my body is kind of telling me, I think this is the weight we want you to be at, and this is where you are. And it's so frustrating to not feel, and I'm sure a lot of people, especially after you have a baby or whatever, it feels so disorienting to feel like you're not in your body. It's like, whose body is this? I don't recognize this. I don't feel like myself.
Well, so here's a bonus when we get into the menopause.
Okay.
Is you lose muscle mass.
Oh, yeah.
So like someone like me who has exercised all her life, or at least in my last 25 years, and I love exercising and I love muscles. The myth of, I'm going to do, I have an acquaintance who is somewhat, has some extra weight. And I remember she was saying, no, I don't want to do weights because I don't want to bulk. Oh. I'm like, okay, that's a myth. And I'm not going to go there. But I'm saying that is so not correct. No. Especially when you enter this phase, you need to do weight training.
It's super
for your
important.
Bones, your muscles, you lose, and you're never going to have the same muscle mass. It used to be that I could weight train really well and eat clean or whatever. And within 6 weeks, the cuts and what now, if I skip 1 or 2 workouts, if it looks like I haven't worked out ever.
Yeah.
The flab, the muscles just aren't the same. Now you have to eat extra protein. You have to do, again, more things that you didn't have to do before. It's like you feel like your body's just betraying you, like it just gave up and said, okay, you can try to stay afloat. But you're going to have to do take all supplements and do this and do that just to try and feel, you can't beat aging. You can't,
no,
but you fight it hard. Like
if you fight it, and
if you want to, like there's some people who just say it is what it is, and you don't. But
well, I'm trying to be kinder to myself about it, and just understand that I can work towards being a healthy person, and not. I had a lot of really unhealthy habits that I got away with just because I'm a lucky person, and there's no other reason behind it. I'm trying hard to just be like, it's okay to not look the way you did when you were 25. It's okay to, have a different body. You're a different person, and you're in a different phase of life. It's mentally, it's really hard.
It's hard
to get to that place. especially when you feel so young and vibrant and
100. That's the part, is that on the inside, I feel this way, and then on the outside,
your body's like, mm-mm.
And it's changing, and you see it changing in front of you. And as we were talking earlier, when we rewatch these things, whatever, and I look and I go, oh my God, I see these wrinkles on my face, and I'm just like,
who's that?
Who is that? Sometimes you look at yourself separately and you go, okay. And then you see it and you go, oh, wow. It's a hard thing.
It can be jarring, yeah.
It is. It is, because you think you're doing all the things to help, and and I'm not one that really wears a lot of makeup, that's not, but you want to fight it. You want to fight it because... And I'm sure that's a societal pressure,
And you can check out our episode on Botox and
Botox video bullshit.
And bullshit. We talked a lot about that. Okay, just a couple more things, because I just want to talk a couple more of the physical things before we get to the mental, emotional part of all of this, because that happens too. So
this might be a long episode once that kicks in.
Well,
I mean, not too long, but
so pee leaks when you sneeze, laugh, or work out.
I didn't. Again, mine was abrupt. I went from...
and you also didn't give birth vaginally, and I think that has a lot to do with it too. If you've ever had to birth a human, I think that impacts. And there are things you can do. There are specialists, by the way, who do pelvic floor exercises with you and therapy.
The LV? Have you looked into that? I bought it. I never used it, but I have it there. It's this little, looks like a female pleasure device. It's a little thingy that you insert, and it's like for 15 minutes a day, and it's got a remote, and it helps like a Kegel. It helps you do like the contraction, and it helps you strengthen your pelvic floor and walls so that you don't. And they say it's fabulous.
Well, what I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I don't remember which one it was, but they were talking about, they had a pelvic floor specialist. Apparently for some women, that's actually bad to do in Kegels. Yeah, because for them, they are actually so tight that's what's causing some of their symptoms, that they need to have it like massaged and loosened.
Shit, I've never heard that.
So I had never heard of that either. So it's worth, if you are struggling with your pelvic floor in any way, and it could look even like they had a few symptoms that I was like, what does that have to do with it? Like if you can never quite get clean down there, like when you're wiping like your butt, and if you can't get it clean, that's a sign your pelvic floor is not okay.
Wait a minute.
Painful sex, peeing, when you're doing like normal things, like all that is affected by your pelvic floor. So
never heard that.
I hadn't heard it either.
Thank you for the information.
Well, thank you, podcast that I listened to. I forget which one it was.
We live with wipies. I'm a wipey queen.
Yeah, but they clog up your...
Clean your septic tank.
No, I've had to call an emergency plumber twice because of that. And also tampons. Did you know you're not supposed to flush tampons down the toilet?
No, I did not. And that's not,
Well, you're not supposed. I did it for years.
That's the whole point. Did you play with them in the toilet and you drop them in before you ever use them to see how they expand? No. When you were a child.
Oh, no.
Not when you're an adult, idiot.
Like that's super gross.
Did you? And I'm asking our
No. You can't do that. That's how you break a toilet.
You can't flush them.
You can't flush.
I know.
I've always flushed them.
I always flush them. And then
when we were children, we would
what a waste of tampons. I bet your mom was super pissed.
Like we would go through a pack and we'd all stand around the toilet and throw them in and watch them and go, that's what it does inside. That's what it does. It gets big like that.
It doesn't get that big though. At least when it comes out, it's not like.
It's not. It doesn't do what it does in the toilet, but you think it does.
How old were you when you first used a tampon? I was embarrassed
when I was 12. And then almost right away, I think I used a pad for like, I don't know, a year maybe. Until and then, the best part. So I was like, I know how to do this, whatever. And I tried to put it in. And I think I left half of it like sticking out. And I'm like, I think this is right. And then it was summer. So then I decided I'm going to ride bike to a friend's house. And I was riding that bike with that thing halfway sticking out. Like,
Ouch.
This can't be, because everybody talks about how you can swim and ride bike, and you can't even feel that it's in. Oh, I feel this. Needless to say, half of it was out. Yikes. Like I didn't know that I hadn't done it correctly. It was awful. But, live and learn.
It took me a very, very long time. And you just reminded me of a story. And I'm just going to share it really quickly because late, and I'm sure no mom would do this to her daughter in this day and age, but in case it ever occurs to you, and also the pads are different now, but when I got my period back in 1996, 97, 96, I got it on a beach vacation. And I was so upset because I was like, like, I can't believe this. I'm supposed to go to the beach. And I was not going to use a tampon for my first period. That's very aggressive. You're not going to do that. So my mom was like, oh, you can wear a pad at the beach. And I was like, I can? And she's like, yeah, why not? And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, in 1996, the pads were quite
like a king size bed. Oh,
they were not
like a float.
The thin, whatever absorbent material.
There with the wings attached. No, they were float. They were like a full on.
They were full flotation devices.
Yeah,
and she bought them for me. God bless. I needed them, and I went into the beach with one the first time. And I immediately, of course, noticed that it looks like you could see this. I'm there on vacation with my dad, my brothers. I wanted to die. And so I got out of the beach.
You wore it in the water, it just got filled up with
That's
water.
What happened.
And then it's like a heavy weight.
That's exactly what happened.
Lord.
And I just had this big banana in my my pelvic region. So I got out of the water immediately. I put on shorts and I was like, I'm never going in the water again. Ever. And Mom, that was really bad advice.
Yeah. Love you, but strike one. Yeah, that was fail. A mom fail there.
Mom fail. Okay, last thing that I want to talk about, because I have experienced this, and I know a lot of women too. Other women. I just had a little stroke. Just give me a second.
That's also I was going to say. We could just do this one on perimenopause and all the things leading up to.
No, because I want to. I want to talk about your experience. And just one quick thing is just the brain fog, and memory fog. It's like being a little bit underwater. Like you're forgetting things. You're not sharp the way you used to be.
Well, let me tell you, on that note, I was experiencing that. It was after the hysterectomy. So I thought, brain fog was a thing. And I was kind of like mid-sentence, you'd kind of almost forget what you were saying. I'm like, okay, what's happening? Or what happens to us a lot, because we do 17 things at once, you walk into a room and you go, why did I come here? And you retrace your steps and you're like, and sometimes you regain it and sometimes you don't. You go, well, I'll figure it out. But yeah, the brain fog, and you're just not as clear or sharp. And I remember I said, well, I'm going to go see a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, because they can't prescribe medication. I said I wanted to see a psychiatrist to get tested. Is this because of menopause? Is it an aging thing? Is this normal? I didn't know. Is this normal? Can you figure it out? Am I under some sort of stress? Do I need, oh my God, my dogs are barking a lot and they're distracting me. So I went and he said, let me give you an ADD test. Let's just fill it out, whatever. There's two different forms. Out of the 9, I had 7. And of the other one, I had more yes than no. He says, oh, you definitely, it's more ADHD, or ADD. I don't even know. ADHD. I said, okay, what can you give me? That's when he's prescribed Vyvanse. I said, yes, my girls have been on it. Different ones. Vyvanse, Concerta, they've tried different ones. And I said, yeah, if that helps. And made a world of difference. I have no problem. To me, is if you have any type of, it's not an affliction because it's not, but anything like that that can be fixed or helped with medication. I think personally, this is my take. Medication gets a bad rap sometimes, or quote unquote chemical imbalances. If you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have ADHD, whatever, if there's something that can help you deal with that, why not give it a chance? If it doesn't sit well with you, fine. But dealing with whatever you're dealing with isn't helping you either. Like, you're struggling with memory fog, you're struggling with staying on top of things. If that's going to help me, let me try it. Well, and for me, it was a world of difference. I take my Vyvanse when I need it, and it just feels like I'm
you again
functioning like I normally would. I'm on it. It doesn't make me feel, I don't feel any side effects. I get a little not agitated, but you feel like a little more energized or whatever. I have a very strong resistance system, let's say, or whatever. I'm very tolerant to medications, anesthesia, all that. But I'm grateful that I have that, and I love it. I mean, I think, I'm thankful.
Well, I think it's really cool that you did that. And I'm glad you brought that up actually, because the number of women that I have heard who have been diagnosed later in life with ADD, ADHD, and it's explaining a lot of things that they just thought were stress and being overworked and all this stuff, but it's actually not. And then they've gotten either a medication, or they've started, even if they don't want to do medication, and they just started doing practices that help manage it better. Right. It's really, really interesting, because I don't think I have that. I think my brain fog is probably just age-related normal stuff, but it's really interesting how many women have figured out that, like, oh, that wasn't quite normal. And
and brain fog is normal. And maybe I tried like the lion's mane or the mushroom ones, or, those are all fine. But the one that I felt like actually, really helped kind of when I need to focus or give me, was that. Maybe that's not the path for everybody, whatever. But the brain fog was enough for me to go at least say, am I depressed? Is it something else that I'm dealing with? Or is it just a normal thing? If he would have said, no, you're fine. You tested fine. But I didn't. So I never in my life would have thought I'm the opposite. To me, I'm like, I handle 30 things. Well, I'm not, you know. So the fact that I guess with my body changes and whatever, that I needed a little help being able to stay on task or focus or whatever, I'm happy or grateful that there was something, and that I took the step to go see somebody about it. Because some people just deal with it and they just think, I'm just not the same anymore. I can't focus. Okay, I mean, that's fine. But if you don't want to be that way,
you can
find an answer, right? And if you don't like pharmaceuticals, if you don't like prescription medications, I'm sure there are alternatives. I have no problem with them. I'm not resistant to that.
Sure.
So that's a personal preference, I guess. And for me, it's helped.
And you just reminded me to give my legal disclaimer. We're not doctors. Don't follow any of our advice, okay? We're not telling you to do anything.
We're not doctors. This is all even personal experience.
Don't even think about filing a lawsuit against us, okay? Because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I think you might be right that we may need to do a part 2 on this so we can get into menopause, midlife.
Yeah.
I just want to list off a couple of other they're not funny, things that things that can happen to you if you are experiencing some of these. Girl, you might be in menopause. It's time for the night cream. Let's see. Electric shock sensations.
What? Oh, no. Never
Short,
had that.
zappy feelings in the head or the limbs that are totally unexplained. Burning tongue or mouth.
No.
Ringing in the ears. Dizziness or vertigo. Intense. You have vertigo? Oh.
First time. And I read a comment somewhere the other day. It was something on a social media post. Something about in the Diddy trial, whatever, that one of the jurors had to be excused because they had vertigo or something. And then people were commenting, how do you just get vertigo? Yes.
Sometimes you just get vertigo.
I woke up one morning, not regular morning, tomorrow. I mean, you wake up, I got out of bed, stood up, and I fell into the wall next to my bed, sideways. And I went, oh shit, I got up too fast. Like when you stand up, you get a little lightheaded. Fell into the wall, and it felt like the room was going like this, like like I was being tilted. And I go, holy shit. So now I was walking to the bathroom, and it was still, I kept falling sideways. And I was like, oh my God. And I told my husband, oh my God, I feel really dizzy.
Am I dying?
What is happening? I walked back, it was not getting any better. And so I would sit and everything, and I said, what is happening? He goes, oh my God, maybe it's vertigo. I go, holy shit, what is that? I didn't really heard of it, but I didn't know.
Sure.
And it was the day my daughter was finishing her summer session. She was at UM taking a digital marketing class or something. And it was her graduation day type thing. I go, oh my God, we have to go to this thing. And he dropped me off while he went to park. And I had to walk up this pathway through the center of campus. And I kept walking off the sidewalk like a drunk person. And I was
they probably were like,
they thought, oh,
her
this
mom is
girl's
drunk.
been a happy hour before. And can I tell you, it's awful.
I bet.
It feels, I've had 2 bouts. So it was that one bout, and then we researched, there's something called an Epley maneuver, which is, it's an Epley. It's four positions, 4 movements that you do with your head laying on a bed. and you have to position your head in 4 different things and hold it for 30 seconds, but you can't close your eyes. And the problem is that when you put your head in these positions, it sets off the spinning, and it feels like you're being, in general, vertigo. When you get the spins, it feels like you're inside of a dryer and or being thrown from a moving car. Everything is constantly like you're on a carnival ride, like the roundup. And it's awful. And if you get the nausea, which I got the second time, it's horrible. And there's nothing, every time you turn your head, everything spins. So we did these Epley maneuvers, and I remember my daughter sitting with me, and I was like, okay, number 2. And I gripped the sheets, and I was like, oh my God, everything was just turning upside down, her closet and everything. It feels like one of those shows, or you see the dizzy thing, like that. And but you can't close your eyes, because once you close your eyes, your brain stops the fixing of the problem. And the problem is, what happens is you have inner ear fluid, right? Vertigo is one of those crystals, which is microscopic, gets out of that fluid. That fluid has crystals, balancing crystals. One crystal gets loose and is still sending signals to your brain. We are not balanced. We're not balanced. So even when you're still, that loose crystal is telling your brain, no, we're not balanced. We're not balanced. So it keeps. So these maneuvers have 4 movements that move that crystal back into the regular flow. Okay. So anyway, long story. Sorry, but the Epley maneuver. And so the second time I did it, made me throw up violently, because it institutes nausea, and it makes it so vertigo. I've had it twice, and it only happened after menopause.
Well,
long story, but Epley maneuver for those of you who get vertigo.
That sounds fucking horrible. You can also get, who wouldn't, intense anxiety out of nowhere, because you can all of a sudden have a bout of vertigo and not know it. And I have definitely found that my levels of anxiety have increased significantly. I don't think that's solely related to age. I think everybody's anxiety levels are higher, and that's just a result of the way that we live our lives, which is totally counter to how we should be living our lives. And one other one that I just wanted to, that came out that I have personally experienced, your allergies get worse. I have developed, and a couple of other friends that I've talked to have also developed this too, just random hives that you get out of nowhere. You'll just be sitting there and all of a sudden you're itchy. You'll break out into hives. I went to see an allergist about it. She told me that there is no known cause, no available cure. You just take allergy medication on a daily basis. It could last anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. To 2 years, she said normally it happens for people. And that could be potentially it's only happening to my girlfriends in my age range. So I got to think it's related.
Yeah.
So all this to say,
the body's changing.
You're changing, and it can be tough, and sometimes we don't want to talk about it. It can be embarrassing changes. We talked about some of those today.
And sometimes you're even embarrassed to share with your girlfriends, which is why we're saying, women need to
Which is why we're sharing it with the internet.
Yeah, which is why we're saying share with each other. Like, say, listen, I know this may be TMI, and we've never talked about this kind of stuff, but I'm experiencing something, and you're my friend, and I don't know who else to talk to, or you can't always trust the internet. People put things, talk to someone. If you don't feel comfortable with your doctor, talk to a friend, say, are you going through this? We're the same age. Because chances are they probably are,
I can't tell you the
number wrong with it.
Well, the number of times that every time I open up with something that like, this is so embarrassing, but I'm just going to put it out there and see what happens. I always get met with, oh my God, I've had that. Or
thank God
or I know somebody who that happened to. Oh my God, like I can't. And it just always makes me feel better, because everyone always thinks this is only happening to me. I'm the only one going through this. Nobody understands. And they do. They're just not talking about it. Yeah. And that's why we're here talking about it.
We're going there.
So we are going there. All right. So we are going to come back with a part 2, because we're going to talk about actual menopause. Yeah. This is the lead up to the big show.
and my reason for, like, this was part of the genesis of this whole podcast even coming to fruition and being a thing is it's a hard phase. It's not just men having a midlife, you wonder, is it me? Is it midlife? For women have it too.
Yeah,
not every woman, but when you do, you just think, suck it up, move forward.
No, it's hard to do that. And do we have time? Do we have time for our card? Yeah. We do? All right. We're going to do a quick card. All right. Let's see. We do our delve deck. This is where we just ask a silly question.
Where are we going? You go. Okay, you go.
We'll be quick about it. Claudia, what habit do other people have that annoys you the most?
Oh my.
I have one. I'm ready.
Okay, then you start because you always, you have to give me time. We
I
should
know.
pose these at the beginning and give me a few.
That's true.
Habits.
Okay. So, people who chew with their
loud?
mouth open.
That's not even a habit. That's mala educación.
But it's bad manners. But people
Bad manners.
do it, and sometimes you're sitting across from someone at lunch. I've even been at like professional business lunches, and they're
Okay, let me just.
Please.
Let's have it. We can have an episode on manners, but this is just bad manners. My husband has people that he has worked with, and it's. I went to lunch with them once. This was years ago, and I said, "Please don't invite me again. I can't. Couldn't eat my meal. How can you get to this point in life and not know that chewing with your mouth open is not acceptable?
It is.
It's gross.
It's a felony.
Disgusting. It's bad manners. Pay attention to yourself. I'm going to get angry.
Yeah, okay.
Close your mouth. No one needs to hear you, see what you're chewing. Close your mouth.
I activated the beast.
You did. You activated the beast. Thank God you brought this up. And there are people
It's
in
like
our
you've been
current
waiting your
lives.
whole
So
life for
if you know
someone.
us, and I'm not going to name you, check yourself. It's freaking gross. Do not talk with your mouth full, and don't chew with your mouth open, man. Like, we're not cave people. How have you gotten to 2025 and not know this?
Claudia's been waiting her whole
all
life for
that's it.
someone to
That's it.
bring this
I'm
up.
done with that. Go ahead.
Guys,
what other habit?
No, we have to go.
I'm leaving now in shame.
I have
No,
to
I'm
go
kidding.
home now.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. Close your legs. Everyone.
Shit. Open. I don't care, but close your mouth.
All right. Keep your legs open. Close your mouth. All right.
There you go.
All right,
Happy
friends.
life.
That is the end of our episode. That is end of part one. We are going to come back with menopause, midlife, all those things that we women experience. Please remember to follow us.
Subscribe. Just click the subscribe button. I didn't even say that right.
Don't even be so desperate, okay?
No. Subscribe. If you're there, it's just clicking a button.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Subscribe to our podcast so you can make sure that they land in your phone every week. Every Monday, we come out with new episodes. Follow us on social media, TMI FYI. Send us an email with your stories.
Yeah.
With your
if you've got a
ideas.
menopause story, a perimenopause story, anything.
Send us an email at askus@tmifyipodcast.com and leave us a review and share what you like about it. Share what's good. If it's less than 5 stars, don't bother. But
And TikTok gets pretty heavy. People comment on there and they go back and forth.
Yeah,
I don't read,
yeah. So
but you read.
I read them and I report
do.
back. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody.